Hey, it's Spence from WP Launchify. I've got a new product out for the MinuteLaunch AI system. This one is a clichéic game changer. It's called MinuteLaunch Image Editor, and here's what it basically does. I've got a WordPress site here using the media library, although I would recommend you might want to check out our other products, the Media Hub P2P, which empowers you to do much more. But here's the concept. We're using the Gemini Flash 2.0 image and the incredible power that it brings, but we've combined it with the media library. So on any particular image or on the creation of a new image, you have all of that power with just one API key away. The API key that you need to set this up is available free at Google Gemini. And when you do it, you just literally need on the back end to go over to MinuteLaunch Image Editor and paste the key in. You can just click on this link here to get it from Google AI Studio. The reason that Google is putting this out for free consumption is probably because it's forming the basis of so many of their new products. They're really trying to be competitive. But it's still a pain in the ass to basically go off to Google and make all the images when we've got the media library here. So two ways of using this. Number one is with an existing image. Let's just pick an image I already had. Let's say I have an image here. You can create a modification of this image inside of the media library, or you can iterate multiple versions of it. So here's an example of how you can iterate inline on an existing image. We can just use our verbal tools to change the coffee cup. Change that bowl from a green bowl into a large red pitcher overflowing with tomato juice. It's a weird request. What happens is talking directly through the API, and ignore the little debug information. I just have that on for me today. And it is going to the Google Gemini Flash 2.5, making the iteration and bringing it back into your library. Now, this is still mind-blowing every time we do it. Now we've got him holding a pitcher full of tomato juice, a red pitcher. Here's the beauty, though. You can continue to iterate further on this if you want. And each time you iterate, it is saving it in the media library. Let's do one more for fun. Change the red pitcher into a black cat that has white stripes and is making a cute face to the old man. Amazing stuff. Let's see what it comes up with. And so what it's doing is each time it's making an iteration. And what I've programmed this to do is also save you time because it's automatically setting up the description and the categorization so you don't have to do so. So now we've got all three versions. This is so fun to me. If we go to the media library, we'll see all three iterations here. So we've got the original that was down here of the image that we brought in from anywhere, shared, saved, whatever. And then we've got the two other iterations. Notice when I look at the details of the metadata, first of all, on the right side, we've got automatically created AI edited category. That will help you understanding the difference between images that were iterations versus, say, generated. And if it does have some of the other things, like you'll see in a second, it will put in those categories as well. Notice it keeps the original prompt in a couple different ways, both the alternative text and the description. That's important because in the future, your Fernando, i.e. the AI tool that you've got in MinuteLaunch, can know what you had said in the past, but you also have sort of a permanent record associated with the images. Now, you can also make these from scratch. So if we're in the media library and we just said, let's add new, let's do something cool. Let's make a logo or something, okay? So in this case, I'll paste in, create a modern minimalist logo for a coffee shop called The Daily Ground. Let's call it MinuteLaunch AI, okay? And the text will be clean and bold and everything. You can start by making your images or your logos or your cartoons or anything here. This is really, really, really powerful because since you can iterate, you could quite literally just make a series of scenes without leaving one screen. And this could be important for a lot of different reasons. So let's say I don't like the way this looks and feels. Let's say change the color to yellow on a, let's do a yellow background with black text and a gray border. Also, make orange and blue highlight this. I would like a circle with a 5-pixel border around it and a white background. I'm just making up a bunch of stuff, but the point I'm saying is you have design capabilities, cartoon capabilities, image capabilities. All of this is within the capability of amazingly, this tool. But now you have the convenience of everything being inside of your WordPress site. So it's available for publication or use in the other things that we can create: save, share, sell, doing your email campaigns, and so forth. I'm going to do a couple of these, so I'll do one more. Let's see after this iterates. And usually it takes, depending on the size of your prompt and the complexity, a couple seconds to maybe a minute at most. Let's see if we get lucky here. And let's see, sometimes what happens, I'm going to look, sometimes what happens is it shows up and I just have to refresh the page. Pretty cool. It literally took me, Let's do one more just for fun. And I am excited to say this is available today. I've got this fully functional. I don't really need to do more, but I am going to continue to add things. Let's try this. I need a YouTube thumbnail, 1280 by 720, that shows Spence, the evil genius from Widget Laboratory, talking into a screen as if he's on a Zoom presentation. And somewhere the title should be, "Welcome to the lab." Make him wearing a big black collar as if he's a scientist in a laboratory, and his hands should be up in the air and very animated as if he's excited about what he's talking about. So let's see if it'll do this. This is a lot of specific detail, but I'm pretty sure that it'll be able to. So imagine using this natively. So when we have the production of both newsletter content, video content with our Flow connectivity, we're doing stuff that we want to share, we can have the thumbnails already created and ready to go. The one thing that it did not do right is it made it a cartoon. I needed to be more specific, and it didn't do the 1280 by 720. So that's just a question of me being better at prompting. Let's try again. Okay. I would like a realistic image with real people that is cinematic in nature. It shows a 58-year-old man sitting in front of a triple monitor. He's got a high-collared sweater on, and you can see him from behind his right ear. It's dark, moody lighting as if he's inside of his laboratory with some green, scientific, bubbly lights in the background. And he's talking on what looks like a Zoom call. This is photorealistic, not a cartoon. And you can have a bubble above his head that says, "Welcome to the lab." Let's see if it does better with this prompt. I have found that you can go and get a lot of free training. If you go over here to Google Gemini, they give you examples of lots of things that you can do that make it easier to prompt. Like notice where it says here, photorealistic close-up portrait of an elderly Japanese ceramicist. Like that's the level of detail you have to get at. Let's see if our prompt did better. I gotta find the actual tab I was on. Okay, not too shabby. The only one thing it didn't do is it didn't do the 1280 by 720. So let me see. Can you crop that image into a shape that is appropriate for a YouTube thumbnail? So it's 1280 pixels by 720 pixels instead of a square. Let's see if it can do that kind of editing. I don't actually know, but I think it can. This is not a limitation of the tool that we've got. This is a limitation of just making the prompt appropriate. And then I'm pretty sure that Google Gemini Flash can make any size and shape output you want. I don't think that it's all just a square shape. So let's see if this works out. We have other tools that will allow you to create virtually anything you want. So I'm going to show you like some of the things I made before. I have to figure out, to be fair, I have to figure out what to do to make it crop the image, because right now it looks like it's 1024 by 1024. But it does have the other convenient things that I find amazing and fascinating. And if we look at a couple of the other ones that I did before, we will see that it does everything from a realistic thing of like a cat and a dog playing pickleball to, because that's realistic, right? To, I did one of Sunset Mountain, trike flying. I used to fly trikes. To coffee cup, which is awesome. And I think I did one here, which is like, besides the stickers, I did this film noir kind of cartoon. And I will continue working with this, but this is available as part of the bundle. If you get the MinuteLaunch AI, I'm going to include this. So for your $250 a year, you get a fully hosted site with our operating system that runs a number of crazy, awesome applications already, including a mobile interface. And you're joining a club so that you can be an early adopter. That means that the $250 for the whole year gives you everything you need to not only have the kind of amazing capabilities I'm showing you here, but you get access to vote and say, I would like Spence to make something cool, or use the tools to make new tools. And there's lots of videos showing what these all are, but this is a new metaphor for how anybody, yourself or your customers, can use the core of WordPress in a box, but with a completely different interface that bypasses all of the craziness that's happened in the last couple of years, with so many different tools competing for so many different things that make it so difficult for a human. I encourage you, besides this, to look up my other videos about the flow, or the YouTube, or the Nutritionify, or the blog posting, or the automatic creation of stuff. They're all available on my YouTube channel at WPLaunchify.com, and demonstrate how, even as of today, you can literally start with an idea and publish a full-blown website in minutes. In fact, I did it at last Friday's Office Hours Live, and it was a tremendous success for a real client. I'll see you in the next video.